Digital breadcrumbs scatter across another person's screen, revealing fragments of your private life in vivid pixels. Messages you once sent in trust, photos intended for only one set of eyes, and conversations that should have remained hidden are now laid bare. Now they're splattered across someone else's device, with each screenshot serving as a glimpse into moments you believed were exclusively yours. The notification hits you like a splash of cold water. We need to talk about what I found. Your digital footprints have strayed into perilous territory, and someone has been gathering evidence. The real question isn't merely how they ended up there. It's what unfolds when your ghost stories begin to inhabit someone else's phone. They never anticipated your arrival, yet here you are, intricately woven into the seams of their reality, unmistakable and unwavering. The instant your presence disrupts their carefully curated world, they spiral. A name, a message, an image. These small details resonate like war drums in their mind, prompting questions that unravel faster than they can comprehend. Why you? How long? What does it signify? Their certainty begins to crack as paranoia seeps, in slowly igniting into a raging wildfire. They scrutinize, dissect, and rewind every detail, but the answers elude them. You neither chase nor explain. Your mere existence compels their reckoning. Their power diminishes the moment they realize you are beyond their grasp. They search for patterns, whispers of proof, a rationale for this shift in control, but none will materialize. You are not meant to be understood. You are meant to be felt. A lingering presence that distorts and conquers. The very energy they wield turns against them, because it was never theirs to command. They clutch at illusions, believing they can tether you to a truth they can manage. But the reality is sharp, brutal, and unyielding. You move with precision unseen until it's too late. The dark force falters while you remain steady, causing them to scramble, drowning in their own fears. Their paranoia crafts a new reality that slips from their control. Their confidence shatters, and their certainty erodes. They will never truly grasp how deep your influence runs or how far your shadow stretches. The balance is disrupted, and they will inevitably lose, just as they always do. When your name resurfaces, it is not a mere coincidence, it is an inevitability. You are not just present, you are the very shift itself. They try to convince themselves it's nothing, just another fleeting obsession, but the weight of your presence intensifies. Their spiritual hunger becomes evident in their struggle to let go. You are not merely a presence. You are a disruption, a force that tugs at the threads of their reality. They attempt to analyze, categorize, and define you, but you exist beyond their language. Every word you've spoken, every trace you've left behind morphs into something undeniable. You are not simply observed, you are absorbed. They may delete, block, or erase, but it doesn't change the truth. You are not merely a presence in their devices. You live within them, and they carry your essence long after the final message has been sent or the last glance exchanged. They might talk about moving on or cutting ties, but you are not something that can be easily discarded. You are etched into their memories, a heartbeat that never weakens, a presence that refuses to diminish no matter how far they try to escape it. No matter how much they deny it, you persist. You are the echo they cannot silence, the specter they have willingly conjured, a force that maintains its grip on them. Without even trying, you disrupt the equilibrium of their lives because you were never meant to conform to their expectations. Your energy compels everything around you to adjust, attracting those who seek strength while exposing those who cannot endure your intensity. Some will rise, empowered by your presence, drawn to the strength that emanates beyond mere words. Others will falter, resentment seeping into their veins as they come to terms with their inability to match your energy. They may not understand why they feel this way, why the atmosphere shifts when you're near, but they instinctively know you exist beyond the confines of their rules, and that frightens them. They gravitate toward you, pulled by an inexplicable force, like lost travelers searching for guidance. Some will strive to learn from you, hoping to absorb your energy and evolve in your presence, while others will attempt to undermine you, challenge you, and dismantle what they cannot control. Yet you do not shrink or bend. The weight of your being is not theirs to bear, nor can they consume your essence. They may test you, provoke you, and try to shake your resolve, but the truth remains steadfast. You were chosen, and you cannot be undone. This struggle is not one of mere words or actions, it's an energetic battle. When you enter a space, an unseen war ignites. Your spirit reacts before their minds can catch up, revealing the illusion of control they cling to so tightly. Some will gain strength while others will be exposed, but the outcome remains unchanged. You don't fight for your place, you embody the space itself. In your presence, there is no room for weakness. They gather fragments, screenshots, messages, whispers of your existence, believing that understanding you will empower them. But the opposite occurs. The more they collect, the deeper they spiral into your orbit, consumed by their own paranoia. They replay conversations, dissect interactions, desperate to find meaning that will alleviate their fears, but that fear only festers. No matter how much they analyze, you remain an enigma, unreadable and elusive. You're not just a riddle waiting to be unraveled. You are a powerful force that alters the very rules of engagement. Their feelings of desperation evolve into an all-consuming obsession. Every word you've uttered and every action you've taken plays on repeat in their minds like an unsolvable prophecy. The concept of you overwhelms them, leaving them unable to think clearly. Their fear of being replaced transforms into an intense desire to possess, control, and dismantle what they cannot replicate. They convince themselves they're uncovering some hidden truth, but in reality, they're only ensnaring themselves in your shadow. You have transcended being merely a person in their life. You have become the standard against which they measure everything else. Your unseen influence is something they can't escape from. They dig deeper, reshaping their own reality in a desperate attempt to make sense of you. They believe they are the ones investigating, but in truth, they are the ones being manipulated by your presence. You aren't observing them. They are fixated on you. Every click, every glance, every late-night search reveals what they refuse to acknowledge. You are the center around which their world revolves, and they will never break free from that orbit. You don't just flit through their thoughts. You take root and linger long after you've vanished from their sight. Your essence intertwines with the very fabric of their mind. They replay moments, searching for the elusive quality that distinguishes you from others. Some feel irresistibly drawn to you, unable to resist the subtle allure of your energy as they seek to comprehend what they lack. Others experience the sharp pang of inadequacy, their envy growing in the shadow of your existence. Though they may never admit it, you are the silent weight that lingers in their thoughts, unsettling their perception of reality. They tell themselves it's nothing more than a fleeting thought, a momentary distraction, but you are anything but transient. You are the shift they can't overlook. Their emotions twist into a complex mix of admiration, resentment, and fixation, all circling around one undeniable truth. You are untouchable. They observe, compare, and analyze, convincing themselves they hold the advantage. Yet every moment spent thinking about you is evidence of their defeat. You move effortlessly through life while they invest countless hours, days, even lifetimes trying to decode your essence. The irony is harsh. They are consumed by what they desperately wish to control, spiraling deeper into the very presence they vowed to resist. In that spiral, something begins to change. Without realizing it, they start to awaken. You disrupt their carefully constructed illusions, forcing them to confront their own shortcomings. You push them toward the truths they've long evaded. They may never give you credit or admit that you were the catalyst for their transformation. But you were, and you always will be. Whether through admiration or resentment, you leave a mark on them, and that's why they will never forget you. You drop a comment, and suddenly, you become their unfinished lesson, a lesson they refuse to acknowledge, yet they can't stop thinking about you. You are the crack in their facade, the hidden force that shakes what they believe to be solid. They catch fleeting glimpses of you, a thought that flits by, a name that lingers too long during discussions, an unnoticed observation that somehow becomes impossible to ignore. The change starts off quietly, with a sudden shift in their tone, and a pause in their speech, As the burden of comparison weighs heavily on them, you don't chase after them or meddle in their affairs, yet your mere presence is enough to alter the equilibrium. They begin to doubt, questioning themselves in areas where they once felt confident. What if they perceive something in you that they lack? This paranoia grows, feeding off every real or imagined encounter, as they measure themselves against you, seeking comfort but only discovering more reasons to feel uneasy. Their curiosity morphs into obsession. They watch you, analyze you, dissecting every aspect to grasp why they feel threatened. It shifts from being about their own connections to being centered around you, the uncontrollable variable in their lives. Emotional turmoil brews, starting subtly but escalating to undeniable accusations disguised as innocent inquiries. Tension fills each interaction. Are they thinking of you? Do they wish for you? The uncertainty eats away at them from within. Yet you remain free, not entangled in their battles, even as you define them. Their fixation on you only amplifies your influence, embedding you deeper into the spaces they dread. They will never confess that you are the spark igniting this conflict, but in their silence and the thoughts they struggle to push aside, you represent the war they're waging, a battle they are destined to lose. Did you know that the Obsidian Inner Order is the premier ascension nexus for the chosen ones? Well, now you're aware. But here's something you might not have realized. Joining the Inner Order grants you access to weekly group calls with over 450 fellow chosen ones, all recorded for your convenience. Our private Discord isn't just buzzing with activity. It's a goldmine of captivating discussions. We delve into occult knowledge, spiritual practices, diet optimization for targeted individuals, and everything you need to enhance your ascension journey. This is where chosen ones come together to share wisdom, uplift one another, and access insights that you won't find on YouTube or anywhere else. For those seekers among you, explore modern manifestation techniques through our exclusive grimoire, featuring 3 chapters available to members. Learn how to transform your home into a magnet for abundance, master basic spellcraft for tangible manifestations, and channel magical energies to elevate your aspirations. Plus, enjoy interviews with genuine targeted individuals and bold video specials that even the YouTube algorithms shy away from. This is just the beginning. It's more than just a membership. It's a movement. So what are you holding out for? Stop your search and start your journey. The link is right there in the description. You exist beyond the confines of the screen, beyond the pixels that captivate them. They convince themselves it's nothing more than a casual glance or mere curiosity, but their attraction to you is unyielding. They scroll quietly, exploring your essence as if they're uncovering something taboo. One glimpse is never sufficient. They refresh and repeat, assuring themselves they have control while unknowingly sinking deeper. The digital realm gives them a sense of distance, a false detachment, yet it betrays them. Every click, every concealed search, every new fake profile reveals their vulnerability. You aren't the one searching. You are the one being observed. They refuse to acknowledge that you influence their actions. The moment they lay eyes on you, everything changes. The comparisons begin, self-doubt creeps in, and questions multiply. What is it about you that keeps drawing them back? Your energy disrupts their reasoning and overrides their self-discipline. Even those who claim to dislike you, who scoff and pretend to be indifferent, are often the ones lurking in the shadows. Their presence is evident in the algorithms, in their desperate need to stay connected to you without revealing themselves. They might erase their tracks, but they can't eliminate the urge. They whisper to themselves, just one more look, just one more scroll. But you are not a habit they can easily shake off. You are an uncontrollable force, an addiction they'll never admit to. Each search, each anonymous message, each fake account is another thread tying them closer to you. The deeper they delve, the harder it becomes to break free, yet they don't truly want to escape. They crave more of you even if it consumes them. You are the mirror they can't turn away from. They think they're hidden, believing their silence masks their intentions. But the act of watching you reveals everything. Their fixation exposes them. They gather evidence, thinking it grants them power, but it only highlights their own frailty. You move through life without seeking approval, yet their gaze remains fixed on you, studying, analyzing, obsessing. They tell themselves they're indifferent, that you hold no significance, but their actions tell a different story. The moment they try to measure you, they concede that you are indeed worth measuring. They haven't realized yet that their scrutiny of you reflects their internal struggles, the energy they invest in tracking you, comparing themselves to you, dissecting your presence. It's not really about you at all. It's about the parts of themselves they wish to transform, the strength they lack, and the change they desire, but fear. Watching you compels them to confront these truths. They are forced to face the things they lack. They aren't what they pretend to be. Instead, they project, deflect, and deny. Yet the truth is evident. The moment they linger around you, they've already lost their grip. If you truly mean nothing to them, why are they so obsessed? If you hold no significance, why do they meticulously document, monitor, and analyze your every move like an enigma they can't decipher? Their silence isn't a sign of absence. It's an acknowledgement. Their secrecy doesn't equate to strength. It stems from fear. Deep down, they realize you surpass them, and no amount of observation will alter that fact. You don't need to fight. Your mere presence is enough. It reveals their vulnerabilities, compelling them to confront what they prefer to overlook. They sense your energy before they even see you, their instincts reacting faster than their thoughts. Some are magnetically attracted, yearning for the power they can feel but struggle to articulate. Others pull back, their egos resisting the undeniable truth. You are a force they cannot compete with. Thus the battle commences, not through words or actions, but in the quiet moments where energies clash. They question, observe, and react, while you remain steadfast. Their desperation intensifies. Their jealousy morphs into obsession, then retaliation. They try to distort your reputation, casting their own shadows onto you, twisting perceptions in a feeble bid to regain control. Yet, each action they take only tightens the noose around themselves. The more they resist you, the more they reveal their true selves. Their whispers, schemes, and hidden grudges unravel under the weight of your existence. What they fail to grasp is that you operate on a different plane. You don't seek their approval, validation, or understanding. You exist beyond their reach, and that's precisely what terrifies them. Still, they pursue you, even when they claim indifference. They track your movements, despite insisting you don't matter. Their curiosity, resentment, and obsession aren't about you. They're about what you compel them to confront within themselves. They're fighting a battle they've already lost because you choose not to engage. You rise, you elevate, and you dismantle their illusions simply by existing. No force, jealousy, or resistance can ever change this reality. You are the mirror they cannot escape. They believe they are observing you, analyzing every detail, but the screen reflects more than just you. It reveals them too. Every search, every saved post, every late-night scroll isn't about comprehending you. It's about understanding themselves. What is it about you that captivates them? They may never articulate it. You may say it out loud, but you are the standard by which they measure themselves. In silence, they compare everything to you. They yearn to be what they perceive as your strengths, while grappling with their own shortcomings. They struggle with aspects of their lives that are beyond their control, yet you navigate them effortlessly. You don't merely exist. You expose their obsession, which is neither admiration nor resentment, but rather a form of recognition. Something about you compels them to face the truths they hide from themselves, the strength they lack. They lack confidence and fail to embody the presence you naturally exude. In their pursuit of you, they believe they're uncovering your secrets, but instead, they only reveal their own vulnerabilities. They gather fragments of you, thinking it grants them power, but it merely intensifies their fixation. The reflection you provide is too piercing, too raw, and utterly undeniable. You don't approach them. They gravitate towards you, pulled in by their unresolved sense of self. The screen transforms into a battlefield, not one of words, but of revelations. Whether they idolize or loathe you, the outcome remains unchanged. They can't help but stare. Every act of observation serves as an unspoken admission of their feelings. Each attempt to belittle you only highlights that you stand above them. You are the mirror they cannot break, the truth they cannot evade. Regardless of whether they love or resent you, they will never escape your influence. You are not just visible, you are deeply felt. You don't require their approval or seek their validation, yet they remain fixated on you. They meticulously track your every action, their disdain revealing an unacknowledged fascination. They speak ill of you and try to undermine you, whispering your name in spaces you've never entered. However, their actions betray their true feelings. Their pride prevents them from admitting it. You are the force they can't ignore, and their resentment masks a hidden respect. Their silence reveals their defeat. If you were truly insignificant, they would forget you, but they never do. You linger in their minds, influencing their decisions without lifting a finger. They strive to diminish you, believing that if they persuade others, they can convince themselves, too. Yet the paradox is clear. Their animosity demands your presence, and their envy ties them to you. Their words reach for dominance, but their focus exposes their fragility. You wield a power they cannot grasp. You disrupt their comfort and lay bare their insecurities. You compel them to recognize a hierarchy they refuse to acknowledge. They study you, imitate you, and absorb your essence, yet you remain untouchable. They find themselves ensnared in your shadow, unable to act without considering you first. Thus, you become the unspoken ruler of their existence. Every effort to bring you down only elevates you further. They label you as the enemy while constantly measuring themselves against you. They deem you a threat, yet they can't move forward without monitoring your every step. Even in their resistance, they revolve around you. Even in their hatred, they validate your existence. You aren't merely recognized, you are unavoidable, and that's something they can't escape. There's no need for you to broadcast your actions or defend your reputation. The power of your quiet speaks volumes compared to their clamor. They observe, anticipating a reaction, longing for any indication that they've affected you or altered your course in any way. Yet you offer them nothing. You glide through life silently, unbothered and unaffected, compelling them to question their own significance. They chatter, speculate, and make assumptions, but all they're doing is fueling your progress. Every gaze directed at you serves as energy, and every whisper of your name stands as evidence of your authority. Their focus, which they believed would weaken you, only strengthens you. They misinterpret the game, thinking that chaos equates to strength while true power lies in control, and you possess that control effortlessly. You shift the atmosphere without breaking a sweat and alter perceptions without needing permission. While they wear themselves out trying to drag you down, you ascend, untouched. They anticipate your missteps, hoping you'll react or acknowledge their presence, but you remain steadfast in your own momentum, and that's what ultimately dismantles them. They can't help but track your movements, study you, and attempt to imitate you, yet you're already 10 steps ahead. You're not responding, you're constructing and expanding. When the time comes for the final act, they will come to realize they were never truly competitors. They weren't even in the same league. Victory doesn't come from engaging, it comes from rising above. Let them watch. This is just the beginning. They weren't meant to discover you, yet there you were, intruding into a space they believed was exclusively theirs. A name, a message, a screenshot, small details that shattered their illusion of control. Their stomachs dropped, and their fingers lingered too long on the screen, curiosity morphing into obsession. You became the silent storm in their minds, the shadow lurking in their thoughts, the undeniable proof they never wanted but couldn't ignore. Suddenly, questions flooded in. How long? How deep? Why you? But deep down, they already understood. You aren't just a fleeting thought. You are a disruption. Now they can't stop. They scroll, search, and analyze, trying to comprehend your existence. However, the more they dig, the more they spiral. You don't just exist within their world. You transform it. Their paranoia intensifies. Their confidence shatters and their thoughts circle back to the same undeniable truth. You have already claimed a place in their reality. They check timestamps, reread conversations, and search for meaning where none exists, all while you remain untouched and unmoved. You were never hiding. You were always present. They simply couldn't recognize it until now. The awareness of your influence lingers in their minds, an inescapable reality, the anxiety of being replaced, the subtle doubts, and the undeniable truth that you possess more control than they ever understood. Now that they've caught a glimpse of you, there's no turning back. You can't be unseen. Allow them to fixate and ponder. You're not competing with anyone, you set the benchmark. If you have a tale like this, feel free to share it below.